Hello everybody, and welcome back to Minecraft Survival Series 2. This is part 32, and today I need to build a super smelter, as you might be able to remember, because I need to smelt up all this cores for it's kind of overkill to do this just for the cores for a shulker box worth of cores for, and while that is true, I am gonna need to be. Would this fucking menu go off? I don't think that showed up on the screen. I was trying to make sure the volume was down. The goddamn TV menu popped up and didn't want to go away. It'll just be nice to have a super smelter, of course, for whenever I need to smelt anything else. And this is a fairly significant amount of items. It would take a while without one, so I'm gonna go ahead and build one. I did find a good design. It is, of course, a Silent Whisper design, as 90% of my farms are, and this is all it really requires for the upgraded bigger version of it, and even, like, I don't need the full stack. It's really like 54 furnaces and, like, 6 hoppers or something like that. It's, really not a lot of items. Everything else is this, and of course some loud-ass truck drives by as I begin recording. So this is a relatively small build. I think I'm gonna do it in this area. I might have to flatten the land out a bit. Okay, so I got this built. It did not take very long at all. This is very simple. You can see the redstone. This is done by Silent Whisper. Link in the description as always. Very fairly simple redstone. Do I have any idea what any of this does? Absolutely not. I made sure to put the 2 blocks of redstone on actual blocks in case I want to build like a platform. I'm thinking I might do that at some point. I also might modify it a bit where there's like water streams that go up to the input chest, so it's a bit easier to reach, but for now scaffolding will do. So this is fairly simple. It uses scaffolding itself as fuel. I think it gets each scaffolding will smelt 6 blocks, and this is a very cheap recipe. Now, I was able to make this with the bamboo that I had because it uses 6 bamboo and 1 string. There's a trident. Okay. That amount of scaffolding, it took less than 2 stacks. No trident. I've been getting lucky though. It took less than 2 stacks of string to make, and I have like 3 or 4 from that when that worked. So I have plenty of time, or I have plenty of string to last me until I build the new mob farm. But that will be a while. But I don't smelt a lot of stuff anyways. So I have the scaffolding. So that goes in these 2 chests. I'm gonna try and split it evenly here. So it should be plenty to smelt the shulker box worth of coarse fruit I have here. So I believe all I do is here I'll unload it. And I'm going to see in real time here. I'm not sure how quick it is. This would, okay, that's not it. This would have taken a long time. I don't think it, yeah, it won't work until I turn it on. So I'll get this going, then I'll talk about why I like this design over some of the alternatives and why it shows this. So I believe I just flick this switch and it should be perfectly efficient. Everything, the scaffolding shouldn't interfere with anything. So it's not the fastest moving because it would, when they're actually moving, it doesn't smelt. So you don't want it going like hyper speed. It'll take way longer to smelt. But by the time it gets here, I believe we should, yeah, we'll already have coarse fruit pouring in. So I don't think this is as fast as some of the designs on Java, but I like this better than the rail designs because with those, rails can be kind of finicky, and I believe this is also like impossible on Java because I'm pretty sure they can't push furnaces and chests and all that with pistons. So there's that too. And this was, yeah, again, really easy to build. I just gotta make sure I don't go too far from it. I think it's gonna take a bit longer, but yeah, no, this amount to smelt would have taken like hours just doing it the manual way, depending on how many furnaces I had. So I do need scaffolding so that, or I do need to use scaffolding with this. I could use anything, but it's less efficient that way. I'm going to continue to use scaffolding for it. Why is this so quiet? Is this functioning right properly? Yeah, I don't know. I think the game's just bugging out a bit. Yeah, no. This is great. Definitely one of the things I've been needing for a long time. I may even build another one over by the base because these are fairly easy to put up, and that way I don't have to come all the way over here. Okay, that is it. I don't know how long that took. I'll try and remember to put the timestamp on screen to say, like, this says how long that took because I'll have edited this down. Okay. Officially by far the most popped course fruit I've ever had in survival. Have I even ever had popped course fruit in survival? I don't know. Yeah, I'll be probably tearing these down, picking up all the end stone, and looking around for a farm design. You can easily manually mine this much of it, but I just want to be able to more easily farm it. Have it in like its own permanent designated area rather than just that temporary spot. So I'm over here to craft these because here I want to get everything out of my inventory so it's less of a pain in the ass. So I'm just going to take 9 at a time. Or yeah, 9 stacks at a time, see what happens. So I only really need like 22 and a half stacks, and this is 27, so there's a bit more. Should leave me with a bit extra, which will be good not only for when I expand the oh wait, is there enough room for just barely. I want to throw a bunch on the floor. But it'll be good not only when I expand the tunnels, but like any other time I need it. I'm thinking about possibly putting some of these by the blaze farm. Kind of makes sense as they're a blaze thing. Okay, so there we go. That is 2 double chests. So that's like, what is that? Like pushing 7,000. And rods, these are actually really easy to get. That is, should be at least way more than I actually need for the tunnels. Where did I put my shit? Oh, yeah, it's up over here. So one more thing I was saying, I don't know if I remembered. The blaze rods will be good for furnaces that are for like stuff like this, and for blast furnaces and all that. Like ones that it's not designed to go as scaffolding. That's probably the route I'll go with those. Do I have 2 more empty shulker boxes with me? I think I can empty some over there. Because now the time comes to place down all of these. And this isn't like the blue ice where it was relatively quick because I can basically sprint and do it. No, with these I have to be careful, I think, because I have to hit a small area and I have to make sure they're all lined up properly. So I have no idea how long this is going to take. I'm going to do it all off camera, of course, because like even if I could had time-lapse stuff set up, this is not a good way of, or this is not a thing that's easy to time-lapse or very interesting to time-lapse. I'm just going to empty this finally. This is when I was building the tree farm and I fucking lost all my shit. So there's iron swords in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is all of them. That is 4 shulkers of end rods. That is not a good way to have them oriented. I need that. And I don't need that for doing this. I think I'm all set. The question is now. Here's the part where I say I'm gonna here I go to do this, but then I actually don't. What is it I say? I'm gonna get to work on this. 9 times out of 10 when I say that, I'm not actually getting to work on it. Like that's the clip where I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get to work on building this farm." That was like 3 hours before I started this clip here. I lied. So yeah, 9 times out of 10, I just record the clip and then I do it like the next day or something. At best. I don't need to sleep. I got confused. I just did sleep. Well, I'm gonna probably get to work on some of these in rod placements, and then that whole, I mean, it took days longer, right? Last episode I was supposed to have the tunnels completely done and just have to work on the desert, clearing that out. So by the end of this video, I should hopefully have the desert cleared out. Maybe I'll try time-lapsing some of that. Like, not like what I did earlier in the series where it's like a whole episode. No, it'd be like, I'd speed it way up way quicker than that. I can't really do that in first-person time-lapses, so third-person ones. Might do that. That's a bit later after I get all these blaze rods. And yeah, no, that should be the last thing I have to do. I still have a lot of slime to get, and these farms are going so slowly. Future me, don't do this shit again. Like, if I'm gonna do something where I have a million blocks, I have to get a farm that's gonna work quickly at it and not take like. Oh yeah, I looked at the original. Like I lined out with the obsidian like a year ago now, and the video where I got these done and they were operational I think was 7 months ago. Now there's a gap there for like 2 months where I didn't even AFK at all. To be fair, but that's still like a lot. I don't know if actually building this many, like, I'm just rambling on at this point. I don't know if building all four of these actually increased the rates as much as I thought. Like, I probably might have been getting the same rates with just like one of them. I think two of them helped. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go over here and not sleep because what do I always say here? I am fucking, I'm gonna do this now. But the next clip, dumbass. Okay, so I have all the inrods in place. This actually was way quicker than I expected it to be, because I had expected it to have to go super slowly, but if I kind of push myself against the wall here, and then like angle the right stick properly, then hold LT, I can pretty quickly, like as quickly as I can place any regular block could do it, just gotta get lined up right. One of the benefits of being on controller. I was randomly taking suffocation damage. I would get the bubbles every now and then I'd lose like 3 or 4 hearts at once, and I'd have to stop and it'd go away. Not sure what's happening there, something with the end rods, I'm assuming. And I also did make sure that these gray pieces line up properly. Not something that would have been too noticeable, especially when moving, but I just wanted to make sure I got that right. And as you see at the portals, and obviously doorways like this, I had to leave a gap so I can get through. And you see gold blocks here, that's because those are like, I don't know exactly what they call them. We're going to head over to the mining desert here. They're just like break blocks basically, because I cannot stop on the blue ice too well, because like even if I try and stop, holding the thing back, I just keep sliding. There's no way to perfectly stop, and then the boat gets all out of whack. So at intersections, there's this. So if I'm going fast enough, which we'll see in a minute, I don't need to. At the end, dead ends, I put it as well, so it's easier to turn around and keep the boat just in one place. So here's obviously the main portal. So if I'm going slow, I have to slow down. So in order to actually get these to stop me, I just have to kind of slow down. If I'm going full speed, like we'll see up here, we go over one of these. I don't really slow down at all. So those are both 4 wide, just like the other one, and you can see how quickly we're moving. It's insane. I kind of went a bit slowly, and like we're just a few seconds. I don't know how long exactly. Like it is less than a minute now, when this journey would used to take. Like if I ran it without elytra, it would take about 10-15 minutes maybe. And even with elytra, it still took a few minutes. It's just, just kind of a pain to fly through these tunnels. I can also run along these if I want to walk on foot through here and don't want to be on the ice for whatever reason. I have had the boat glitch out a couple of times, possibly related to leaving it on the ice, so I'm going to try and not do that and see if it's good now. I've had like, it's like disappears, so I've had to reload the game, and then it pops back up with whatever's in there. I can't really do anything about the pigmen. They keep spawning even though they shouldn't because of the light, but they're not a big deal. And so there's some magma cubes, that's only the little ones. There's really not much more I can do. They shouldn't be spawning, but they are. But if we come out here, yeah, that in total only took like maybe an hour, hour and a half. It was not a long process. Placing blocks is much quicker than collecting them or mining them. But I did get a little bit more work done here, and I now completely do have, besides maybe a strip over there, I don't have rockets. I knew I was missing something. You see, I have the whole area mined out because these are the markings for it. So I have the whole area cleared out, like where it will physically be, but I am going to want to flatten the surrounding areas a bit more, and I have to, of course, replace this sand with sandstone, like I've mentioned 1,000 times. And this mountain is in the process of being destroyed. So that should hopefully get me enough sandstone for the part that isn't desert over here to just make it look like it's desert. I'm hoping. I might have to actually wind up going, like, skipping this, going to this side of the desert, and then mining that out for more sandstone to be able to fully place in sandstone along the spot. But that should get me all the dirt I will ever need, even though I probably already have all the dirt I'll ever need from the hole. But if there's some big project that'll give me that dirt, and that will also make this a big flat area like I wanted to, that will open up the possibility for all kinds of stuff I can do here. Yeah, I don't know exactly how far. It's probably just going to be a matter of I'm going to work on it until I have all the slime blocks, which I'm hopeful that it will be next episode that I can finally build this damn thing. That's going to be one episode. So I could be like the whole where it takes me, you know, however many episodes to build. No, one thing, time-lapsed. And all that. I'll set up some kind of tower or something over here for the second account. And I'm collecting dead bushes because they're non-renewable. I don't want to destroy them. So yeah, I'll definitely... I don't think this mountain goes too far this way. Definitely want to try and flatten this out. Probably to, like, all the way down to the other side, just so it's completely out of the way. And... obviously over there where there's like a rough edge, I want to make sure that's all flattened out with at least maybe 15 to 20 blocks to spare from it. We'll see how that looks. Right now I'm just working on this. As you can see, I have the beacon over here. Well, a beacon. And rabbit killed itself. I'm just shaving off the sand first here, and then I'll come back with pickaxe and work my way through sandstone. So yeah, this is gonna take forever. But this is, you know, better than all that goddamn ice. Something different. So I plan on just doing this until I'm sick of it. Basically until, like, because I basically have enough room now. There's not much more I have to do. That should only take, what, like maybe 5 or 6 hours. Right? And then once I have enough space, for sure, I'll probably continue to flatten out the area a bit until I get sick of it and mix in building some small farms for this episode. I still have to edit the last one. But I'm gonna get to work on something. Okay, so it's been a few days. Quick update here at the desert. You can see I've mined out a ton more of sand and some dirt over there. And this line where you see I dug out, that is what I want to have done by the time I start building this. Also, I'm going to lower the level at the ground or whatever is to 63. That is like right at sea level. And there's also just a lot of sand at Y level 64, so this way I get there, and there's a decent amount at 63 as well. This way I get all that, and, you know, being flush with sea level will look better. I'm not going to really be able to go lower than that, at least not easily, because of the sea level water would flow in. So I'd have to figure out, there'd have to be some sort of transition if I were to go lower. I don't think I am. So yeah, once I get the whole area mined out, I'll just slim down this and then replace all these blocks at this level with sandstone. Okay, so I also decided to bring over a Shulker's worth of sand and obviously turn that into glass with the help of my super smelter, but as you may have noticed, there were 3 stacks missing, and that's because this should be all I need for 3 like segments of Silent Whispers Nelium / Flower Farm. Obviously I'm going to be using Nelium, and this should produce way more bone meal than it uses, making it a bone meal farm. And as you see, I flattened this area, but there's just like one little mound up somewhere in this area that I got rid of. And so yeah, it's gonna just smack dead right here, so it should be able to be AFK'd from my AFK spot for the slime farm. But speaking of the slime farm, as you may have just been able to see, the snow golems. What the fuck is that? I believe that's a drowned on a llama. I'm just gonna ignore that. But as you may have seen, the slime ran off and jumped off. And that is because there has been a bug, and it has been fixed, where, goddamn, slimes are no longer aggressive towards snow golems. This got fixed yesterday, right after I made a TikTok about it. And so that has been the reason that the farm has not been producing jack shit. And I have AFK'd here for about 14 hours now, and okay. Is 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, just about 17 chests. Before I'd be, in that amount of time, I'd been lucky to get maybe 6. So this is back to how it was, like, I think before October, I think is when that started to happen. So yeah, as you see, that's where we are. So just this chest and this row, and then I can put in the more chests. So it's getting there. So I definitely have to step it up in that desert to get that all finished. I'm not sure. This still isn't going to be like instant. It's still going to take probably a couple weeks at least. But now, I'm probably going to get working on that bone meal farm, or I guess technically a Nelium farm, whatever. Some of that redstone I might not need, because the main, like, there's different sections of it or whatever, and the main one is the only one that needs a lot of the redstone. I mean, it's still not even that complicated, as you can tell by the amount of redstone. So yeah, I won't need all of that, and like obviously some of these stacks, I don't need entire stacks. I think it's 54 glass each, but just easier that way. But yeah, that'll be in this area. I'm gonna get to work on that. Okay, so this is just completely stupid. So, there's been a lot of controversy around the patching of this furnace with XP duplication thing, where you would get the item, you'd get more XP than you should, basically. And there's a new way. If you put an item that can be smelted in your third slot, and you just do this, you get the experience as if you smelted it. This is the dumbest goddamn thing ever that this works. Like, I can take this, right? So I'm technically holding the shovel, and I can just sit here mashing A and mend up my shovel for nothing. It'd be quicker if I had a better item, like a netherite scraps is the best thing to hold while doing it. But that's just ridiculous. I don't know how I feel about this, though. I'm trying to debate whether I want to abuse this, because yeah, it's kind of a bug, but like people like to say, it's harder to get experience on Bedrock than it is Java, and I have been screwed over quite a bit, so you think they kind of owe me one. Like, I avoid super cheaty stuff, like, obviously duplication glitches are out of the question. I didn't build zero tick farms when those were a thing. I don't know that this is all that bad. I might use it. Let's be honest, I'm gonna use it. Probably just to mend up tools, though. Well, that's probably the best use for experience anyways. I'm not gonna go
maybe 2 nuts, but I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. Experience isn't that big of a deal at the end of the day. They'll definitely patch it eventually, so I shouldn't get too used to it. I'll still have to build other methods, but yeah, no, that will make mending up all my tools a lot easier. I'll have to get me a stack of ancient or ancient debris, I think it is, or I can use, I think, nether gold ore is the next best. I have tons of that, and there is a wandering trader that lost his llamas. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna build this damn thing now.
Okay, so first off, I know this isn't what you're expecting to see, but first, I want to show off that I built this, and that will become apparent on why I built this. This is a simple bone meal based um, bamboo farm. Just load the bone meal in each of these chests. I might need to expand these if I'm going to need a lot of bone meal bamboo. I will talk about why I built that after I explain the problem over here. So as you see, I only built 2 of the 3 modules, and it all functions properly to an extent, but he didn't exactly show how to do it on this side to build the 3rd module, and it is a bit different, so I was looking through the comments to try and figure that one out, and working on that. Then I ran into some comments that, yeah, no, it wasn't so great, saying that this farm no longer profits a bone meal, and if I decided to run a test, I put a block's worth of bone meal, so 9 stacks into each module. So I need to make 8 each module. So I need to make 18 stacks or 2 rows to break even, and then obviously I need a bit more than that to make the farm worth it. And it doesn't even break even. Once again, Mojang just fucking with shit that they have no need to fuck with. We still can't farm shulkers, but we can put the Mojang can sure shit put the time into breaking shit like this. Well, not breaking it, but making it non-profitable. So that is a part of the reason why I built this, because I needed a bunch of scaffolding. Because there is an alternative farm that I was going to build. I need the bone meal for, obviously, for just getting stuff in general, but there is a future project or two that, and a potential future project. Llama underground there's a cave there. But there's potential future projects that will require bone meal. And, normally when I show you guys the materials I've collected for a farm I'm building, it's like a shulker, maybe 2. Here it is. It took 7 double chests for this farm. Scaffolding. Scaffolding and iron. Scaffolding, or just, no, that's just iron. And then iron and glass. This isn't all the way. This is how many stacks I'll need. I'm just waiting for the iron farm to produce it. I have it over by the base, but I'm not building this quite yet, and this way I just don't have to bring it over here. So a bunch of glass. I had to make another trip out to the mining desert to grab it. And then a lot of these, to be fair, are taken up by signs because I need like 1,000 of them, and for whatever reason they only stack to 16. So I need something like 68 stacks of 16. And then these slabs, so that's like a bunch, like 35 I think stacks of slabs. Then here's everything else. Need a bunch of leaves, some magma blocks, packed ice. I don't know if I could have used blue ice, I just didn't want to screw with it. Obviously some redstone repeaters. This is just supposed to be like 16 of these. I thought I heard these didn't work, but they weren't. There's a bunch. You get a bunch of them that were optional, and I thought when you dried them out they would all become one type, but no. So that is a bit of a problem. And then just some other stuff. This farm, which I haven't even said exactly what it is, but this is the Silent Whisper's new big ass mob farm. I think I've talked about building it before. Needs a trident killer. The only thing I don't have for it is the trident killers, or the tridents. I think I need to put Impaling 5 on them and probably Mending, even though they don't need it, but I don't want them to just have super low in case they fall out and I have to replace them, and then don't want them to break. So yeah, everything after this lever, however, is not a part of the farm, but it should be everything I need and then some for a sorter, because this thing produces 11,000 items per hour, and it's like all the mob drops. So gunpowder, string, which I need, bones, can use for bone meal, uh, all that crap. I think a shit ton of armor and stuff too, which will probably just be getting destroyed. So yeah, I should have like 4 tridents around. I gotta look into exactly if I need Impaling 5 and what the story is with that. And watch the full video. It's a massive farm, so it's like a half-hour video at least. So as for where I'm gonna build it, the initial plans is somewhere in this region over here to keep it away from those and everything else and all that. It requires some chunk alignment, and yeah, no, there's that is double what you need for one module. Obviously, I mean, I'm building 2 modules of it, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've been having some issues with this, where it's destroyed itself, but it seems if I go slowly, it's not a problem. I'm not sure these are all correct. I might have to look back and adjust some things. But going back to this, the fate of this farm, I really don't have a use for it. I don't need all that nether stuff. I have an insane amount of it. So the big problem with it is it's kind of taking up prime real estate, like right by my AFK spot, right by the iron farm, and it's a not necessary farm. So I could always switch out for warped nelium, but I can still get the warped fungus from that, and that's from this, and that's the main thing. The more likely thing is I could switch this out for flowers, but then I don't have specific flowers if I want them. So I'm not sure. I definitely don't think I need both of them. So this section is like the main section. It has most of the redstone. This is just like the secondary section, and you just run lines, and yeah, you see a bunch of redstone over there, not as much over here. So this one might be getting teared out, and if the mob farm doesn't produce enough bone meal, or even if it does, I may slap a moss farm here, which is supposed to be crazy for bone meal. But I gotta be careful and make sure it doesn't get all, it doesn't get broken by them nuts. The big problem with the moss farm though is it's fairly complicated, although probably way easier to build than this big ass mob farm, but that is about that for now. Like I said, I don't think I'm building that mob farm now or even in this video, because it's massive undertaking. So I'm probably gonna try and figure out if there's any other small farms. I have just woke up, if you cannot tell. I think there's some other small farms I wanted to look into building. Yeah, also I left room over here for like sugarcane and kelp versions of this, which there are. Like this one, you just like basically water slab or waterlog the hoppers, I think, and then it's sugarcane farm. He said, oh no, you need to add some more hoppers, a 4-piston loader, whatever the hell it's called, because that's not quick enough for sugarcane. As for the rates, I didn't mention that it's like you put in 18,000 bone meal, you get 18,000 bamboo per hour. It's better with the sugarcane. It's double, so it's like you get 36,000 for the 18,000 bone meal. But anyways, I'm gonna get to work on something.
Okay, so a quick slime update here. I did up all the math, and there is 539,136 over here. And then that number up there, that's 96,000. That's for the ones behind this. As you can see, I have gotten a bit more. This is just over, like, yeah, right there. So, this has been running for like a day or two. And it's all the way up over here. I did the math, and it's about 4,000 slime balls an hour, so it's a full double chest, a little bit more. And at that rate, I need as you see with this, I have over 600,000 slime blocks, so I need over 300, and like I think it's like 370. It's less now because there's more, but since I did the math, obviously, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 370,000 slime blocks, or 3.1 million slime balls. And doing that math, it's still like another 780 hours, which if I did like 12 hours a day would take me like 60 days. So I'm debating setting up a form of trident killer. So this is how they normally die now. Obviously with a trident killer I could get the looting effect, so my plan if I do decide to do this is to just dig this out and have a drop down, and then water push them all to the center, and then underneath the storage room there would be the trident killer, and they'd all get funneled through there. The couple problems with this would be I need to make sure they can fit, and the big ones can fit inside the trident killer, and I need to make sure it's like always running when I'm in the area. That way they die and they don't like build up. I think they will stop the mob cap, so I won't have to worry about them like lagging out the world. There won't like be an infinite number of them. The problem with that though is it could slow down the race because they'll be alive for longer. I could probably I think if I put ice under the water, that'd make them go quicker. Oh, couldn't save it. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna look into that because I would really like to have the next episode to just be able to get that done. The next problem with that is afterwards, I don't need a bunch of slime balls, so I'd have to go back to just a regular killing mechanism. I always could just reinstall what I had before, or I could tear out the trident killer and replace it with just a magma blocks. That would probably be the method, so I am gonna look into that. If there's a trident killer that can kill them, I'm pretty sure there is, because this is just taking forever. Right here was another hole with a bunch of drowned in it, and like there was here, and by chance I believe I put it over here. Oh shit. Right here there's a protection 4 Unbreaking 3 mending helmet. So if you don't know, a couple videos ago I fell into a hole full of drowned over here, and they killed me. I thought I lost my gold helmet, but I'm pretty sure that is it, because I don't think they spawn naturally with those. So I guess it somehow got to another one, and it's just the drowned has been wearing it this whole time. And I managed to notice it as I was throwing them all away, all the armor I got from them. So that is good, and hopefully that increases rates. I'm pretty sure that was before I did up all the math for how quickly they produce. I could work on spawn proofing some more, and that might help a bit. That's a naturally spawning black sheep. Those are rare. I'm going to go ahead and click that because it bothers me. I did also run this again with some bone meal. So yeah, also I am going to work on probably testing a third-person time-lapse of just mining out the desert, so I can see how I can get that to work with my Xbox One and see how easy that will be. But that will be probably after I get the Dragon Killer, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Just been AFKing a lot to try and get this done, and I'm going to get back to work on something. Okay, so if we come over here, you see this Trident Killer down there, and now there's some problems. This whole area is a shit show now, so this is a link down to it. And if I go over here, that goes all the way down and up, and it links up to my AFK spot under the iron farm. And over here is the actual Trident Killer. And these goddamn hopper minecarts keep getting broken. Oh no, how did that Trident get down here now? Okay, that's not happened this whole time. So, had 3 impaling 5 tridents in there. It has now somehow fallen through, despite working for literally hours. So, couple problems with this. I have to go this way because this is too damn loud. So, I AFK'd at my AFK spot, got less slime than before. I AFK'd down by this, got about the same as before. So the problem is this, they're not getting pushed in. I tried my best with these water streams, but of course the game changed its rules, so I can't have the water stream going up right to the edge because they'll just go over the button. You know, typical bullshit. So the solution to this is I have to make 4 separate trident killers, and finding this 3x3 design was a pain in the ass. And I had to put those minecarts there so it would suck out all the goddamn drops. I think it does on its own anyways, but they somehow keep breaking. I don't know if a slime is somehow hitting them. I don't know, they don't get out. It's stupid. So that's that problem. It's kind of hard for me to show you the system, how that's all set up, but the water, basically there's just water streams that push them, and they're not exactly cooperating. So when I set up the other, like, I'll have to get rid of this one and I'll set up like probably one for each slime farm. And that way I'll have a wall on one end instead of slime coming from every direction, and I can put a snow golem there to make sure they go into the hole. Still the problem of the damn hopper mine carts not staying. I don't know that they're exactly necessary, but still just bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, the amount of bullshit I had to went through putting that up was insane. So there doesn't seem to be an issue with me just kind of leaving it running and running around here. I think the worst that can happen is it will just stop and I'll have to come down and turn it back on, and I have to be careful because there'll be a bunch of slime. There's not really a good way for me to get the experience, and I'm not really after that anyways. See, I have no idea why this trident fell through. Let's see, are these still here? Yeah. So I have no idea. Shouldn't be falling out, so I guess now the plan is to work on those other trident killers, and hopefully they start functioning properly and the game stops breaking its own rules and all that. Okay, so as you can see, I got all 4 of these slime, or not the slime, the trident killers done. A couple of issues. That's one. Sometimes they can glitch out, but this is actually fairly rare. So let me go ahead and deal with this guy. Once they're little, they can't do damage to me for whatever reason, which makes a few things easier. Obviously, they can't hurt me right now. I don't know if that's because the armor, if they're just always like that, or if it's just bug rock, but so yeah, each one of these, obviously for one of the sections of the farm. Hang on, how do I show this off? So first, okay, I need to go over here. Grab armor. Oh wait, I didn't even have armor on, so I guess they just don't do damage to you. Okay. So. Oh no. That was too far. There's that green concrete. Where the fuck did it go? What's up there? Let's make sure I go get that. But here's 2 of them, as you can see, right off of the thing. That's the slime farm. And for the ones on each end, I had them come in a bit so the killers are closer to each other, because I do occasionally have to check up on them. So, need a better way of getting up and down from here. Though I don't think there's usually much of a reason to. So, if we go up here to the storage room, I believe over here is about what I got in 1 hour. So yeah, and this has been running for a few days. Let's see how many it has. I haven't checked it today. So there, and it's filling up the hopper for that one. So that's a decent bit. By the math, I think this cuts about 200 hours out, which it takes it down from like 700 and some hours, like 580 hours. So, was it worth it? It was a lot of work, and these aren't the most reliable as I'm about to get into, so I just have one trident in each one of these, which means sometimes stuff like this will happen where it takes a minute to kill the slime, and sometimes they will get dislodged and they stop moving. They'll just get stuck. I think usually it's towards this piston, towards the side of it. Now they won't disappear or anything, but they will stop killing, which means eventually this will fill up, and it's not going to break the world or anything because there's a mob cap, but that means the mob cap will fill up, the farm will stop spawning stuff and produce basically zero slime. So that's a problem. Nothing much bad will happen when it does happen. It's happened a couple times. I just simply have to break one of the blocks, cut down all the slime into little ones, and they can't hurt me, and then kill them off and try and grab the trident and place it back down as quickly as I can. One way I can help to alleviate this is if I get more tridents, because it shouldn't really prevent them from getting dislodged, except it might help a little bit because it won't get pushed around by the slime as much. That's what does it. But that way, the tridents will still come unloose, but that way it will keep killing them. But then I can just easily, like, if it's like the morning or whatever, I'm done AFK and I come over here, there's nothing in here, and I see one trident off, it'd be fairly easy to jump in there, grab it, and replace it. Also, if I save the game in the area and I reload it, sometimes some of them will stop. I just have to flick the lever and it's good. Sometimes this will happen too, where it's going too fast and the water can't recharge. So yeah, I don't know what causes that, but just flicking it off and back on seems to help. So it'll go too fast. It should kill them quicker, but then I don't think the slime balls get into the hoppers. And that's another thing, you see the hoppers are just right there. I had a drop off before and I had to use hopper minecarts and that was causing some issues, but this seems to work just fine. There's hoppers underneath here that run up to that one line that I created for this first one that was actually like right about here. So yeah, so I don't know if I have enough for a episode for this episode yet. I might do something else just to get that, but then I'll call it for this. You know, whenever I can, I'll be done with this video, and then there'll be probably a bit of a break until I get all these slime balls, and then the next episode we'll be building that. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do a time lapse of mining out some of the desert to finish this, because I just want to get this project done already and move on to other stuff. So there might be a bit of a gap between Minecraft videos, not like there always is. Not like there is what? Not like there isn't always one, but I don't know, it could be a bit more, and this time I'll just, you know, I'll actually be doing something. But there will be hopefully other videos and all that. But I'm rambling on, gonna get on to something else probably.
Okay, future me here. So at this point, I started recording using OBS because I had a new capture card that actually hooks up to my computer, and the audio is kind of fucked because my old microphone doesn't really work well with my computer. I got a new one. I got audio filters and everything set up, so as you can tell, it sounds a bit better. And I'm still working on the settings. It sounds weird to me. If you know what the hell you're doing, please tell me. But yeah, no, that's why there's not much I can really do about it. But from now on, it will be better.
Stop the time lapse. It's finally fucking happened. Shulker cloning is finally in Bedrock. A year and a half after it was in Java, after it was added to Java, that is. I have already got all the stuff to make a farm. This is all the stuff I need to build the actual farm for the most part, plus the stuff to transport the shulkers to it. Why the fuck did I hear a zombie? It's daytime. And then these are some leaves, so I can build a bit of a safety net underneath the farm because it must be built over the void to avoid shulkers teleporting outside of the farm. A couple issues. I'm gonna go ahead and pack up and start heading my way over there. You need 2, and I don't know if I left 2 alive at that first end city. See, back when I first went to the end, who knows how long ago, Shulker cloning was already announced, so I left Shulkers alive at the first end city I found, or at least the closest one to the end gateway. But I can't remember if it was 1 or 2. I'm pretty sure it was 2. And even if it is 2, if I lose 1, it's over, and I have to build the farm somewhere else. I won't be fighting the dragon again to get another in-gateway with a farm closer because fuck that. I think there are a few more end cities and possibly a direction I didn't go away from the end gateway that hopefully has it. I'm not joining the party, Jack. The design I will be going with is, of course, by Silent Whisper, because what farm in my world? I mean, there's a couple that he didn't design. But he made it like a month ago before 1.30 even came out, or 1.18.30 even came out. We're a long ways away from 1.30. Huh. And it's very simple. The hardest part is, of course, just getting the goddamn shulkers to it. It's going to be in the end, of course. I haven't been through here for a while. I am slightly concerned because I know there was a bug where the dragon would decide to just respawn for no reason. So, okay, it didn't happen, thank God. Endermen are a problem. I tried figuring out a way to get the pumpkin head on and to get rid of it, the stupid overlay that makes it impossible to see. But I wasn't able to. I know there's resource packs and stuff, but on console I can't really get those, especially without disabling achievements, which is something I'm not going to do. I don't have any ender pearls. God, I hate that. Why'd they have to make it like that? Like, just why? Not the biggest fan of flying in the end. Is this way, if I remember correctly. There it is. Did I kill them? That's a problem. I didn't look at the fucking... Or did my dumbass leave the ones at the top? I really hope I didn't do that. I thought I left ones by the door. How do I get these fuckers to go down? Okay, those bolts really shouldn't do damage if they're gonna, make me fucking float up and bullshit. Okay, it'd really be nice if there's a way to not have these make you float. I have no idea how the fuck I'm gonna get these dudes down. I guess I'll just have to farm this high up. And then break a hole. If I destroy that island, this way might be... I thought it was on the other end, near the massive void. Okay, so I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. I have the elytra, so it's not a massive deal if they hit me. It's just annoying. Okay, get up here. Oh, fuck off. Thinking that might be the way to go. I only brought like 50 rails. I thought it was closer to the edge. I don't know how far he said it needed to be from any land. I think he said like, I hope he said 15 to 20. It might have been longer than that. Yeah, I could destroy that island. And then this might be good. Okay, well I'm going to watch the video here again and see about building this, and I'll probably just time lapse it. Okay, so I decided to stop recording the time lapse because, as you see, they were being incredibly temperamental, and yeah, no, getting these fuckers over here was a massive pain in the ass. You have to. There's not much you can do. Like putting them in minecarts. Oh, that'll finally fucking get them to chill. No, they will still shoot at you, and then they will sit there and hit each other, causing them to duplicate. And then there'll just be tons and tons of them, and if they're all in the same room, you can't get them on. So yeah, really try and leave the ones alive in the front. On the bottom, that would probably be easier. So we are a bit higher. We have to be 30 blocks away from that. I made the leaf platform, as you can see down there. I probably should have made it a bit higher. But I decided to restart recording because the farm is almost done, possibly. It's to the point where the game decides whether or not it's going to screw me. When I break that minecart on each of those, they should teleport straight down. They're probably going to wind up teleporting somewhere else, and I'm just going to give up on this. I'm trying to figure out what the best, or I'll probably accidentally kill them or something. There's still more back there, so it's not a complete fucked. I think there's a couple at least. There's one inside, one outside. So it will be a massive pain in the ass, but... no. Too scared to even say anything. Fucking controller. Oh, it could have been so bad. Okay, now it should just be putting in the snow golems. I have to be insanely careful not to place anything but leaves. And oh, I hope they shouldn't be able to teleport to snow. Leaves and glass. No solid blocks. Okay, this, I fucking hate that so goddamn much. It is so useless to have it up there.
Okay, that wasn't working. Thought it bugged me there for a second. I think everything's going good, but I'm never gonna stop being terrified that this farm is gonna break. Dude, my fucking heart right now. I'm not even gonna like put anything. It's just that one chest. I don't think I'm even gonna bother expanding the storage. It doesn't produce enough to probably bother. It's like I think 100. What is it? It's like I think 130-ish an hour. So it's only a couple stacks. I'll never AFK that long. I did go into the comments and I added some buttons around the soul stand that he didn't originally say to put on there. So apparently it's up with there, and I put that glass there because apparently that could come off. I'm still just terrified this is gonna break. Probably wind up building kind of a bit of a platform up here. Oh, look at that. There's junk in there that I don't. Okay, there we go. Let's produce 7 shulkers, and I think I can just leave. There's no redstone really, so I can't really turn it off. So now he says, "Oh, this isn't that good, so you probably want to build multiple cells." I'm not building multiple cells because fuck of that. And this produces way good enough for me. That's already math is hard. 4 shulker boxes. This is producing. I think they might have fucking actually made these guys drop more, or they fixed some of the bugs with it since he designed that, because he said like it would take 2 minutes to, or like a minute to get 2 shulker shells to make a box. I think that's what he said. Yeah, I'm thinking that they upped this. Yeah, so what? The big problem with this is they just machine gun fire them fucking bullets, and it's really hard to get them to stop. Even getting them in the minecart, I think that might help a little bit. That snow golem didn't just get damaged, did it? It's not a big deal if they, the attention can get screwed up, but if they die, it's not a big deal to replace them, but I don't know if that would break the farm. And I was worried about when they die, with it make it a super complicated farm, but no, there's a 100% chance they duplicate if they get killed by another shulker, which is really good. And that's what this relies on. It doesn't, you know, it's a very tiny, simple farm, as you can tell. I'm scared to even really do anything. Almost got killed by an Enderman that I never looked at once. It's towards the end when I was getting rid of the stone platform that I built over here to rail them over here. Getting a little AFK box. Jesus Christ. I have like 9 over there too they would duplicate so much over there that I wound up killing some. I'm even too scared to fucking put a door over here. I didn't even bring one. So, leaves. Just leaves. Leaves. I love leaves. And that's probably how I'm gonna do it. No fucking solid blocks allowed out here on this fucking thing either. I'm just gonna keep it on my sword. Okay, so yeah, it didn't has kind of mixed results. What are you looking at, man? Why don't you take a picture? Oh, dude.
So many emotions. I've been waiting so long for this, and I'm fucking terrified to leave the area. I'm gonna have to do it eventually, so yeah, to ignore the fucking setup to actually getting here. I'm gonna just throw my junk away and just everything away. And I forgot chests. I had to go back to the overworld. Okay, so do I go out there with a sword? I'll just probably go out there with a sword. This stuff, yeah. Oh my, I have to go out there with an elytra. I'm not too worried about getting killed. I'll probably make some better way of getting over there when, at some point, which means never. Oh, I did an oopsie. Do you see what the oopsie was? Oh, that's a big oopsie. I put my rockets away. And all my blocks. What hit me? Yeah, this got tore to shit, as you can see. There's one right there. Of course that would happen. Fuck! I just hate this game so much. It will take every opportunity to fuck you. I mean, that's mostly my fault there, but I should have made that jump. I fucking hate the design of these fucking cities. Like, yeah, let's do slabs, and there's this one spot on all of them. It's on the bigger ones. And like, this fucking tunnel thing, this upgo, this is why. It's not challenging, it's just annoying. I mean, it is challenging a bit, but like, it's not that challenging to where it's more just annoying than anything else. It's more annoying than challenging, and especially at the top when it's all fucked up and you're like, if you just keep doing what you're doing like this, you will just fall off and you gotta pay attention because they fucking, I don't know. Basically always fall off right at the top because of that shit. And I had just gotten rockets. I used a bunch of rockets doing this, but it is the end after all. I'm building a farm up in the air. I really have to pee. That didn't take, honestly, too long, even with the bullshit having to deal with the goddamn horrible, horrible shulkers. 33. Has it been producing while it's gone? I might have still been in rendered it, or for a lot of that, probably. So it's 11 o'clock at night. I'll probably AFK overnight here. Yeah, I'm gonna encase myself in here and we'll see probably tomorrow morning how this is going. Hopefully nothing bad happens.
It's the morning, and well, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. I just woke up, and the farm is still working. Well, it wasn't still working. It broke. So what happened was these snow golems, both of them, either died or disappeared. I don't know which one. Neither should have happened. They shouldn't be able to be hit. But, you know, Minecraft Bedrock, buggy piece of shit game, and they will never fix it. And then, the bigger issue was that a shulker teleported to the side of that soul sand block that's facing the snow golems, and you can't really see it from here, but I put a button on that side of it. And then it was over here. I just broke the button that's on that piece of glass that lets the water fall down, and then that made it teleport back here because that's the only spot. So it's really easy getting it back there. Got lucky with that, but yeah, you have to put buttons on the edge there in case your snow golems died. He didn't say to do that in the video, but yeah, and just on the other sides of it too. So it's working again. So yeah, this has just been going for a few seconds. Kind of a mess over here, but I should just get all the shulker shells together. You can see we have a decent amount, but unfortunately the farm did break like not too long after I went to bed because I think that's all of them because I only got like an extra 3 stacks after I went to bed because I kept emptying it and just putting the shells in my inventory to avoid it filling up in case it went crazy or whatever. And I'm gonna put those back. I'll probably set up some kind of small storage room area, like right up here. Let's not whatever the hell this is. It shouldn't break in the sense that the shulkers they should not be able to go anywhere. However, the snow golems are probably gonna keep dying or disappearing or whatever it was. So I'm gonna have to just continuously replace them and hope that I don't know, maybe it's a fluke. It doesn't happen again. But the good part is the shulkers shouldn't be able to teleport when it happens, so it's as simple as just replacing the snow golems. A bucket of water. Try dumping the water on it first, but then I waterlogged the button. And just gonna switch out that because it's getting ready to break. I don't need the gold helmet. No piglins to kill me. So yeah, I did the math and the first hour it made 198 shulker shells, I think, which isn't a lot more. It's more than the 180 that he said it would make. And I think that was because, as you might have seen, I don't think I forgot to say this on camera. I figured this out later. You might have seen it. It's not happening now, but there was multiple shulkers on that one block, and that's not supposed to be possible. They were supposed to fix that, or at least them spawning on the same block. But I guess it's back, so now there's the slim chance that when they get hit with the bullet, they clone, and there's the 100% chance they clone if they get killed by a bullet. Well, this farm is supposed to just use the 100% chance they get killed by a bullet because there's nowhere for the other ones to spawn, but they're able to spawn right on the same block now. So yeah, hopefully this continues to work. It worked for, as you can see with those shells, a good few hours. So, this video is probably gonna take even longer now. I mean, it's already been taking forever, but I don't plan on doing anything else for the next few days except just let this fucking AFK and get as many goddamn shulker shells as I possibly can before Mojang decides to break this farm. So, just gonna be doing more AFK and hopefully nothing bad happens. The only thing that this should break now is I don't see anywhere else that they could. I put buttons underneath, right? Yeah, I did. Goddamn soul sand. I think that's like the only, yeah, the soul sand and those 2 iron blocks are the only places that it's even possible to transport, to teleport to. They could teleport down here, but I think even if that minecart like falls off or whatever, that rail will prevent them from being able to fit in that gap. 'Cause I'm pretty sure they need like a full block, and that's technically not a full block. Okay, back to this. Okay, well, it has been a while. It's been like probably 3 or 4 weeks at this point. I spent so much time AFKing at that farm, and then I'd take a break for a week because my game wouldn't load. Well, my game would load, but the world wouldn't load, and it got all fucked up because it's a bug, but then they fixed it, and it took them a week to, and I may or may not have made a new world on Java and decided to completely start over and recorded an episode, and then had problems finding a good shulker farm, and then they fixed this, and then I saw all these shulker shells, and then I decided, maybe I'll stick on bedrock for now. So yeah, I was completely done. I was ready to basically abandon this world. I was gonna finish up the slime block project and then just kind of put this on an indefinite hiatus. But I've changed my mind because honestly, redstone tutorials for Java Edition are not that great compared to what we have. It's like vague, and sometimes you can't even find a tutorial. They'll just show the farm, and then I'm not psychic, and if you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're kind of screwed. But anyways, this is 30 shulker boxes worth of shulker shells. Some math here. That is so every shulker box, if it stacks up to 64, can hold 1,728 items. So that means there are 51,840 shulker shells here. Divided that by 2, it gets 25,920 shulker boxes I can make out of all of these. And that then comes up to 44,789,760 items I can store in these shulker boxes. That is, if they all stack up to 16. Or all stack up to 64. That is, some stack up to 16, and some don't stack at all. So that's not exactly, gonna be how much it stores, but I am losing. So at the end of the day, it will be less than that, but this is still way overkill. I think originally I was like, okay, I'll go to 10, and that'll probably be good. And then I'm like, okay, I'll go up to 15, because I'm too lazy to actually record this. And then, then I went to 20, then I went to 25, and now it's 30, and now I'm like, enough. Okay, I still have to go AFK over at the fucking slime farm for a while and clear up the desert, so I debated on how I'm going to do this. And oh yeah, another problem. Snowmen kept dying and I'm running low on pumpkins, so I was kind of forced my hand. The farm has worked, other than the snowman dying, the farm has worked flawlessly. Some people said they had the shulker teleporting where that minecart is. I never had that issue, and yeah, as you see, it's still going. It was only this snowman on this side would occasionally die, but I brought enough pumpkins. I tried actually at one point looking for dirt and pumpkin seeds out here to try and craft up some more, to try and grow some, but I didn't have any dirt or pumpkin seeds. So I'm going to throw all this that I don't need in here. God, it would be nice if I could stack these up better. I had plenty of chests. I bought a stack of chests mainly for this reason, to craft the shulker boxes. So I am debating. There's a couple ways I could go about this, because the in gateways are kind of tricky. I need ender. Do I not have any? I have one. I need to go do it dangerous. I need to. Hang on, I want to check. I am connected to the internet, so I don't know why that's freaking out. Let's put that on easy so I don't get murdered. I have to remember to put on my gold helmet once I get out of here. If I have to, I shouldn't go through the nether. It should spawn me. God, I'm still uncomfortable flying around here, and I really haven't played Minecraft for a while, so. Yeah, but I have been non-stop, basically. Oh yeah, I already made a thing here. I've been almost non-stop as much as I can, besides that week that the save file wouldn't load. I've basically been non-stop AFKing at this farm. Whenever I wasn't using my Xbox, I actually played all of Super Mario Odyssey and started playing a few games on PC, so I could just leave this AFKing constantly. My main reason for doing that, I think I've talked about it a little bit. is I'm worried this farm will break because it can easily break. It's not like something that's seems to be stable because of the mechanics that you use with the shulkers teleporting. If you lose a shulker, it's done basically. So I just wanted to get all the shulker shells I'll probably ever need in one go. So that's why another reason I kept extending it is, better to just stay AFK an extra week and never use those shells than to need them and have the farm not work. Okay, that scared the shit out of me. I don't think any of them... I only looked at 2. I made an infinite water source that I don't think I ever actually even needed, but I'll just leave that here. You know what? I have the shulker boxes now. I could leave some junk well, I'm still not going to be able to... I'm going to take that because it has some end stone and I have a limited amount of that. I'm still going to need... This is just for this trip. I should be able to now... Nothing but shulker boxes. Okay. I should probably get into the habit of doing that anyways. I leave a lot of junk out that doesn't need to be out, that I can easily just pull a shulker box out. Oh, well, that actually worked out perfectly. To clean these out later. But I'll go through all these boxes basically. Takes probably about in a day, like 24 hours, a full 24 hours would be like maybe 2 shulker boxes. So I'm glad that I have a little over half of them in the ender chest. I grab that. And now time for this terrifying journey. Okay, I know it's this way. I'm like super uncomfortable flying, so especially in the end. And having not flown for a while. I see it. Problem with flying in the end, especially is these goddamn endermen, like, it doesn't matter how far you away, if you accidentally look at them, they'll attack you and you have to look all around to land somewhere. Oh fuck, I still haven't... I think I have ladders somewhere. I might have left them. I can go back. It's insane how small that is. Yeah, I was looking up the designs on Java, and a one-dimensional one is massive. Like, probably not hard to... too hard to build. It's somewhat complicated because they're... if Shulker dies in Java, it's not guaranteed to respawn if it's killed by a Shulker bullet like it is in Bedrock, which is how that farm works. But that doesn't happen on Java, so that makes them way more complicated. Because you have to have a Shulker replacement system. Oh wait, no, it wasn't here. I had to come back for it. I know I went and got yeah, there they are. There's a Shulker left down there, but it's like blocked off on all directions, so it can't get me. So yeah, so I guess now I should talk about what exactly is I intend to do. I'm so paranoid that I'm accidentally going to start streaming because OBS decides to put the record button and the streaming button right next to each other. This wasn't a problem before because I never streamed from OBS, so I never even set up my Twitch thing, but once you do, it's kind of annoying. It has, it has the same big red circle when you're recording as when you're streaming on the Windows icon, but yeah, you can see that I'm not. This is all screwy because I pillared up like twice and then I had to go backwards and it's a mess. Okay, we're good. It's all good. Everything is fine. No dragon magically respawning. That tends to happen, or at least it did happen before. Used to happen, I think, a lot on. So I still haven't gotten the egg. I'm gonna do that later because I'm still fucking terrified. Should just spawn next to my bed, or at worst case, at spawn. But I can easily fly to somewhere. Okay.
I was so terrified for that. I gotta sleep. 'Cause fuck, have I been in the inn for long? Well, it shouldn't be raining. I just slept. There it goes. Oh god, it's fucking everything. It's safe. Everything is safe. Everything is fine. I have to. My elytra, obviously, I haven't really been getting much experience. I have fucking days of AFKing on me, so I should get over here. And oh, I'm gonna fly where it's safe in the air. Okay, I don't know where exactly. I still gotta tear this down. That's gonna hurt. So yeah, so my plan, I was gonna start talking about that, then I got paranoid. My plan with all these shulker boxes is, of course, to store everything in them, because there's no way I'm gonna have 44 million items in this world, or at least not for a while will I surpass that. Oh, I do have a fuck ton of chests here. That's gonna be good for the shulker boxes I'll need to make. Well, no, I need it for the. I need a lot of chests. I'm gonna need to AFK at that damn tree farm for a while. Maybe I'll do a live stream of that, but that could get boring. Yeah, that's probably too boring. I do want to start live streaming this world a bit more and actually working in this world a bit more. Wait, I don't have to take it out of the chest. So I'm going to. This is about half. I'm gonna leave. Yeah, I'm gonna leave like that's like half. I'm gonna leave it here. And I'm just gonna whoop-de-doo. There's 57 shulker shells. That is nothing now, and I love it. Yeah, but I'm gonna leave those there. These are all in the ender chest, so I'm good. I do have a bit of a low source. I have no renewable source of redstone, but when you dig out a 100 by 100 hole, you kind of wind up with a lot of it. So that hasn't even become an issue, but at some point it will. I think because you get witches through a raid farm, so you will get some, and that should be enough for all my needs. So I gotta tear this down. I gotta figure out something to do with the fucking slime chunks, because I'm still working on the exact design for the new system, but it'll be implanted in the ground, like I said, and I think I said at least, and I think I'm gonna have it like go from one end to the other, and then it'll be like a plus sign. Go from one end to the other. Then I could possibly expand it to go around the edges as well and connect, and it'd be like a window pattern kind of thing, if that makes sense. I know I did a little bit of a I still don't think I said it. Yeah, I didn't completely say. I interrupt myself all the time. So yeah, I plan on hooking up shulker box loaders to most of my farms, at least all the ones that it makes sense to. Some I'll have to craft the items into like block form, and those I probably won't, or I might. I might anyways, and then I can just take out shulker box and craft, and that'll kind of help me with my plans for my slime farms after I'm done with the slime farm project, because I'll go from having not enough slime to having way too much slime really quickly, even if I'm not really AFKing there, because it'll just produce like a lot of while I'm in the area, and I don't use a lot of slime. So if I just hook up even if it's just storing the balls, if I hook up a shulker box loader, and just every like few months I'd have to go through and craft them into slime blocks. That's not that big of a deal. I'm looking for this because I will to turn off the paper doll. I honestly would probably keep the paper doll on if it would have just put it below the coordinates. I hate that it just puts the coordinates like halfway down the screen. I don't know why they do that. Because you could easily just put the paper doll right up under the coordinates. I think that would be better. But okay. I also have to go through and put buttons on this. I don't know when I'll do that. Probably, you know what, I think that idea. And that leads me to my next thought. I am going, well, not thought, but next thing I wanted to say. I, I botched the hell out of this. You don't understand how much time I have to take to edit out just the fucking, to basically, I'm doing it again. You know how much time it takes me to edit just to make what I say while recording make sense? And then I still don't even do a very good job. But I'm going to be live streaming the rest of the digging out the the rest of the space in the desert to make room for this damn thing in between this episode and the next episode, because next episode is going to be the one most likely where we, when I say we, where I go ahead and finally build the damn slime block project. Last I knew, I'm around 700,000. I'm a bit over it now, 700,000 slime balls, and it shouldn't be too much longer at this point before I'm able to finally start building that thing. But like I said, I have to clear out the desert. I am going to do a live stream of doing that, and at the same time, I'll probably go ahead and throw buttons down. That shouldn't take too long. I gotta figure out which buttons I'm going to use though, and that could make it longer. I might go with blackstone. That should prevent everything from spawning there, so I don't have to worry about the damn piglins anymore. Well, they're not even piglins anymore, but they are, because it's this world, for whatever reason, they're still piglins, even though they should be zombified, or they're still pigmen, even though they should be zombified piglins. Where am I with this? I don't remember. Okay, it's about there, but yeah, I'm adding chests as I go over, and yeah, this is as far as over as I am now, so it gets to get over there, and then I have the chests go to about right here, and once all these and all those 3 rows are empty, it has to go over here, like I said, this row, and then that will be it. Did that make sense? I'm marking down the amounts so I can make sure I actually do have the million that I need. And originally I was going to use, these are all my shulker boxes basically I had before, besides the few that I needed to use. And now I have 25,000. Well, enough shulker shells to make 25,000. I need wood, of course, but again, that's easy compared to shulker shells themselves. But I was planning on making trips, and it would have taken me like 9 trips of my full, almost my full inventory and full ender chest to leave me a few slots for a sword and food. But now, it will still be 9 trips, but I'm not going to empty the shulker boxes. And this will also be easier when I'm building the damn thing. I can just load up my inventory with some shulker boxes. I'll probably do at least 9, I don't know. Because I still gotta worry about actually having enough in my inventory to play, so I'm not constantly opening shulker boxes. We'll see how I go about that. I'll just kind of figure out how as I go. But yeah, this video is probably extraordinarily long, and it's taken me months to make, mostly because there's a lot of AFKing. So I should probably get to ending it here. In between episodes, I'll probably get up some more chests, or at least collect some. I think I should have enough to make all the shulker boxes I'll need. I'll have to do up that math for 1 million. Or I guess I could do it now. God damn it. I may build that trident farmlet, or that drowned farmlet that Silent Whisper came out with not too long ago. Oh, it's fine. It's just, oh god, I didn't need to do that because it just turned off because I left the area. It's not stuck. Yeah, if you unload the area, these can turn off sometimes. Oh god, I gotta find what fucking design these are, because these are just some, it wasn't Silent, so I don't even know who it was. Hopefully I can find all that and link these in the description. So there's a lot. I think that was this episode that I built this. I don't even remember at this point. Yeah, I got a lot of AFKing here to do for me. It'll be so difficult. You can, sometime after this video releases, I will do the live stream that I talked about. I'll go ahead and wait. I have a chance. I don't know when the hell it will be. I'm recording this at 3:30 in the morning, so it could be literally any time, any day. I don't know. But probably not too long after that, after this video comes out. Which who knows when that will be, but it will take me a while to edit. But yeah, you can catch me on Twitch a lot more often than here. I'm trying to stream, you know, multiple, like I'm going for around 4 or 5 days a week. I'm not quite to that, but about 4 would be where I'd want to be at. I recently started a live Satisfactory playthrough, so that's kind of similar-ish to at least what I'm doing. Not necessarily Minecraft in general, but the whole automation thing. And yeah, I did an 8-hour live stream of that the other day, starting off, and I might do one here in a little bit. But this video will be, but it will be long since over when this video comes out, because yeah, this is gonna take me a while to edit. Especially when I keep rambling and saying the same thing over and over again. I have to edit it out, but then I realize in the end video I still said that same thing like 6 times. I edited it out like a bunch of times, so yeah, that's nice. So I just did the math real quick. It will be 578, actually 579, the last one won't be full. 579 shulker boxes to store the 1 million slime blocks, and they will be transported all the way out. It'll still take like 9 trips, I think, because it's just that I won't be reusing shulker boxes. And this way I don't also have to make a bunch of chests out there. I can just lay them out on the ground, which will be easier for going and grabbing them. So that will require 9 stacks of chests to make, and then like 18 stacks of shulker boxes, or shulker shells, that is, big whoop. So yeah, that's a small percentage of my total shulker shells that I have now, and of course I'll be able to reuse them after the project is done. Seeing how they'll be there anyways, I'll probably just wind up, I was thinking that, oh god, it's gonna suck to have to transport all them empty shulker bars back. I'll probably just wind up leaving them out in the desert and filling them up with sand and sandstone and eventually dirt once I'm, because I'm flattening that whole area. So yeah, I'll need to fill those up eventually. In fact, I'll probably make some shulker boxes up to take out there to start just storing those in shulker boxes now, because I've kind of been running out of chests out there. So yeah, no, that live stream probably within a few days after this video comes out, and all around, and most days hopefully I'll stream. Yeah, no, good. I should stop rambling so I can get to all the other stuff I have to do. So yeah, go. I'm not doing well. I'm expecting to live stream after this. This is that it wasn't gonna go well. So yeah, check out all the things linked in the description. I have all the farms and contraptions and shit that I built in this video, hopefully linked in the description. And yeah, the next episode's the big one where I finally build this thing and can and then start working on my storage system finally after 3 years. 3 years this month, actually. 3 years on the 31st, I believe. Around then. It might have been a few days before that. That's just when the video came out. I don't know. But yeah, no. I'm rambling at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. This is why the video is probably like 3 hours long.